So, welcome back to Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth. This is going to be a bit of a bonus episode, not part of the main playthrough, but in this part, I'm going to be showing the intro of the Persona 4 storyline. Now, this isn't strictly canon to the P3 storyline, because in this route, these guys get to the Labyrinth first and the P3 cast come later, so the two stories actually diverge quite a bit in some ways, but I wanted to do this just to give some context to how the Persona 4 party got into the Labyrinth in the first place. I'm going to choose the same name for the Persona 4 protagonist for consistency reasons. And I'm pretty much just going to speedrun this on safety. Okay, so that quote's the same. However, this is not the Velvet Room we're used to. Well, you might be used to this if you played Persona 4.
Welcome to the Velvet Room. This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter.
And in this case, it's Margaret who's giving Theodore's usual spiel here.
It seems you have quite a unique fate, after all.
Yes, being a protagonist for 2 games, not 1. Actually, even more if you count Arena.
The cards are whispering to me. They say that a curious incident is awaiting you.
That actually is a reference to another line Igor said in Persona 4, I believe.
Perhaps you have a premonition of it already. Do you know who your threads of destiny will intertwine with?
Wow, you're strong.
So yeah, now we're introduced to the Persona 3 protagonist and actually hear him voice acted.
I see. As I thought, you sense something as well. I look forward to the story that the strands of fate will weave. Well then, until we meet again.
Okay, so this one provides a little bit less context than the Persona 3 version did. There's no mention of the incident occurring in the past. And this does explain, though, exactly where this takes place in Persona 4's timeline. We get an exact date for it, well, just like we did in the P3 storyline. But yes, this is quite a bit later into Persona 4 storyline during the Cultural Festival, which, unlike the Persona 3 Cultural Festival, was not cancelled. Interesting seeing the Dojima residents from this angle. And yes, by the way, Nanako is in this game, even outside of DLC. She's actually a DLC navigator voice, which is as adorable as it sounds, but yeah, this is Nanako, the protagonist of Persona 4's cousin, who mostly he treats as a younger sibling. And yeah, it's explained here.
My teacher said you need to eat well in the morning.
By the way, she has the same voice actress as Aigis, Karen Strassman, and I've always loved her performance as Nanako. I've always said that it's one of the few cases of an adult playing a child in any media where they manage to convincingly sound like a child. There's just been no other instances of this in voice acting where, like, because every other time I hear a child voice acted by an adult, it's always obvious that it's an adult. But with Karen Strassman, Nanako just sounds so authentic. I love it.
I just know how to cook eggs, so I need sunny-side-up eggs and a rolled omelet. Huh? The rolled omelet turned black.
Oh no, the other girls haven't been messing with this, have they?
No, the burnt parts are bad for you. Dad says he likes it burned too, but it's still bad to eat.
Oh, nice to see how much she cares.
Well, thanks for the food. The eggs are yummy. Chickens are amazing. Huh? Someone's here.
Yo.
Ah, of all people, Kanji is the first one to come.
It's Kanji! Good morning.
Sorry to show up this early in the morning, man. The old hag wouldn't shut up about me taking this to you.
Ah, that would be Kanji's mother.
I thought it'd be a pain to lug all around school, so I brought it now. You don't want it, huh?
Oh, we're having breakfast right now. Let's eat it.
Huh? I don't know if you'd like it, Nanako-chan.
I actually don't know what these are.
Sorry, it's all brown and stuff.
It's great. Your mom is a really good cook.
You think so? Cool. I'm glad to hear it. Actually, I cooked part of that. It's that simmered one.
You can cook?
Well, he's sadly one of the few people in the Persona 4 party who can.
You can make knit dolls, too. Huh. You really can do anything. When I get bigger, I want to be like you, Mr. Kanji.
So sadly we won't be hearing a lot of Jonah Young Bosch in this route because, yeah, the Persona 4 protagonist is silent, seeing as it's his route.
What are you cheering her on for? Seriously, what are you gonna do if Nanako-chan does turn out like me?
That's actually kind of a disturbing image, but I feel like you would go and say that because he's, yeah, kind of a deadpan troll sometimes. Oh, the bell from all the way out here.
Oh, you're going to be late, big bro. There's a festival at school today, right?
We have to make sure we beat the late for school guy to school. Yeah, I've watched that compilation video and it's amazing.
Whoa, look at the time. Guess we'll have to use my secret passage.
You have one of those? Interesting.
There's a hole in the school fence. It's a shortcut to the classrooms that lets you avoid the teacher.
Considering Kanji's reputation at school, it makes sense that he'd have something like this.
Kanji, you're a delinquent.
No, he kind of acts like a delinquent to sort of fit in a way, but it only made other people even more scared of him. Kanji's whole character arc's really interesting, and if I do play Persona 4, I'll definitely be talking about it a lot.
Oh, crap.
That's so cool.
Nanako, please don't think that delinquents are cool. That's...
Cool?
You're not going to turn out well if
Not
that's the
really.
case.
I mean, Senpai, come on, stop glaring at me!
Though the secret passage is kind of interesting, because it sort of alludes to how those kind of things work in the dungeons. Oh, yeah, so, this is the day of the beauty pageant. If you haven't seen it, I highly encourage you to look up that scene from Persona 4, the animation, because it's fantastic, and, yeah, it's great. Especially the English dub, which just, again, it's one of the best English dubs I've ever heard in any anime. I'd actually put clips, of it in the video if I wasn't scared about getting copyrighted. Of course there are no customers.
Today's the last day of the Culture Festival, but there's no one here at all.
Who do we have to blame for that? I forget whose idea was it to do the group date cafe display, but I think that was his.
I hear all the other classes are in full swing.
Well, good news is that Yosuke's description didn't say he has horrendous luck and nobody treats him with any respect. Yeah, that is why a lot of people think Chie is flanderized in this game, but it doesn't come up nearly as often as, say, Akihiko and Protein.
Oh, and I was kind of interested in this group date. I wonder why it's not catching on.
Yeah, I wonder why it's not catching on.
Man, I'm glad it isn't. There's nowhere else to rest.
I like it. No one's taking pictures of me or making awkward small talk. Great plan, Yosuke-senpai.
Yeah, there's a lot of aspects of Rise's whole story arc that are really sad when you think about it. It really just shows how hard some celebrities have it, especially those of her age.
That was my plan, then I would have suggested a quiet zone to begin with.
There's one last event to finish off this festival later today, right? I wonder what it's gonna be about.
I
I heard it'll be a karaoke booth with no sign-ups needed.
Hey, she actually pronounced that word correctly. Nice.
Wouldn't it draw too large a crowd if you sang Risei song?
Yeah, that'd probably be a thing. Also, Naoto's here.
I won it! It'll be my second grand victory after the cross-dressing pageant.
Oh, that spoiled it. So, I hope you looked up and watched the, cross-dressing pageant before this, because, yeah, Teddy kind of destroyed everyone there. Which is something that he's going to be on the receiving end of in this game. I'm sorry, that description is so good. Anyway.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be a singing, dancing magician.
But your Arcana is Star, right?
Do you want to see my magic trick? Huh? How about it?
Well, why do I get the feeling this is going to increase the Teddy own counts?
Well, if you insist. A 1, a 2, and a 3.
And introducing Teddy's human form to those who haven't seen it before.
Ta-da! My transformation into a gorgeous prince is complete.
All you did was take off your costume.
So, what did you think, Sensei? Were you shocked and amazed?
You know, I don't think you ever see this model of Teddy in the Persona 3 storyline, with him actually talking outside of the costume. Yeah, we see that all the time in this story.
Oh my! Have you lost that love and feeling? My heart burns stronger when I get the cold shoulder, Senpai.
And the bell again. Yeah, that pose that Teddy was doing just reminded me of, there's a lot of costumes in Persona 4 where he actually does fight as his human form, and they look kind of weird with Teddy's animations in battle.
What was that just now?
It sounded like bells.
It was different than our usual school bell, though, huh?
And yeah, given that we know from the Persona 3 storyline that the dungeon's kind of a copy of this school, that does beg the question, why is the bell different?
Oh,
What is it?
I heard that the Kinjiro Ninamiya statue runs around the schoolyard in the middle of the night.
Yukiko's into freaky stories like that.
What does that have to do with anything? Besides, we don't have one of those statues here.
It's a common story as one of the school's 7 horrors. Does this school have its own urban legends?
So this gives a bit of context to that thing Elizabeth described when she starts running the nurse's office.
Like I said, the statue runs around the...
We don't have one.
Oh, but the second one's impressive too. The eyes of the Mozart bust in the music room.
All they do is glow?
Well, all the statue does is run.
That's surprising. I don't know why I found that so funny, but I did. Guess the statue doesn't run around killing people, it just runs? Okay, that sounds like a relatively mundane thing in the list of 7 horrors.
Again, we have no statue.
But considering that we don't even have a statue in the first place, it is kind of weird.
The third one is, if you write your wish in the logbook at the nurse's office, it'll come true.
Oh, right, yeah. So if you haven't played the Persona 4 storyline, that line has less context for it from Elizabeth. Interesting.
Isn't that just a superstition?
No, it's actually true because we go ahead and do them, but that's not that hasn't happened for you yet. I should stop breaking the time-space continuum.
Okay, but here's the main point I wanted to get to.
So you did have a point.
Oh, I just realized that I think because this is a new file, the voice volume might still be pretty low. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think it'll be stuck on default volume until I get access to the options menu.
Can you guess the 6th one? Whoever hears the bell of the clock tower to the end.
We don't have a clock tower either.
That kind of contradicts what just happened.
Although, as I recall, supposedly there was one here once. I heard it from the principal before.
You know, I think you're right. But I'm pretty sure that was before we were in grade school.
So, what happens when you hear the bells to the end?
You die.
Dude, that's such a cliche.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would end that way.
You breathe your last.
Rephrasing it doesn't make it better.
Wasn't that something Yukari said?
Okay, enough about that story. That bell probably means the post-festival event's starting. Let's go.
Yeah, that's an animation on Chie I don't think we saw on the Persona 3 route either.
Chie left.
Leave it
anyone our age still gets creeped out by the 7 horror stuff.
Oh, believe me, there'll be reason to get creeped out later on in this game, but that comes later.
Are you scared?
No, not at all.
Naoto's pretty stoic about that kind of thing. If she does get scared, she doesn't let it on. You. I mean, that gets confusing.
I've been allowed to have a fortune-telling booth here. It's just a way to pass the time.
This is also shown in the anime. Yeah, by the way, please watch that anime episode, it's great.
Hey, Senpai, who's this beautiful lady? You never told me about her.
Okay, that's interesting. They don't know about her at this point.
Me neither. I can't let this pass.
Oh, come on, can we get a Teddy own count here?
Oh, you mean that place you've mentioned before?
So like with the Persona 3 protagonist, the P4 cast vaguely know what the Velvet Room is, but whenever they see the protagonist go in there, he just stares off into space doing nothing for ages, and they're probably all really confused.
But didn't you say the owner had a long nose? Does it stretch?
As interesting of an image as that is, this is a different person.
It doesn't stretch, and he was not referring to myself. I'd be curious to know what you've told your friends about us.
Oh, sorry. We're...
There's no need for introductions. I know about all of
Yeah,
you.
I get the feeling they're fairly omniscient regarding this kind of thing. I get the feeling they can actually see your social link progression as well, so they would know everyone here.
That aside, did you hear that sound earlier?
What sound? Oh, right. You thought the post-festival thing was starting.
I see. So you did hear it. That sound did not come from reality.
Okay then.
I heard it from my fortune-telling booth after all. From your booth?
So, ergo her booth is not reality.
Though it has no master. The fortune-telling room is a simplified velvet room. The velvet room is inseparable from a guest's fate. Absolutely nothing meaningless happens there.
So then, if a sound was heard there, it was by necessity?
So by this point, Naoto's stopped being skeptical of anything supernatural because she's realized, yeah, you can't really deny they're happening. So she just treats them as just more evidence in these investigations, really.
Maybe you just dropped a bell or something?
A pretty big bell.
Indeed, something is happening. Or rather, something is about to begin.
She ignored me.
Well, I guess all we can do is check out this fortune-telling booth. This Velvet Room's where they've been helping you out all this time, right?
Yeah, although for him it looks like a limousine, so I doubt they could fit that into a booth.
You raise an interesting point. If you all heard the sound, then it must be related to all of you. Will you please follow me? It's this way.
Yeah, again, I apologize for the audio balance here, but this is actually the default settings in the game. It is kind of hard to hear the voice acting over the music.
So, hey, Yukiko, what's the 7th story?
Let me guess, there isn't one, and it exists, the first thing that came to my head was so that fanfiction writers could make one up.
Well, if you've heard the 6 leading up to it, supposedly something will appear.
What? That sounds like the 100 stories.
It also sounds incredibly vague.
What?
What's wrong?
Oh, there was a spider crawling by my feet and...
Once again, the spider.
Huh? It's gone.
A spider?
Must have been my imagination. Come on, let's go.
Let me see if I can read that. The long something, old, the first one is, I think the first one is old, furui no, and then that's, I could probably be able to get that if I have my dictionary here. Wait a minute, please tell me that's not the long nose. I wonder if that is the long nose, actually. And if you look really closely at the katakana, magi no shiroto furui.
It's through here. Please be careful. As I feared, it is somewhat unstable.
Unstable?
Time. It's unstable.
Well, that's not something that you hear someone just flat out say.
Let's go in, Senpai.
And we're here already.
Talk about a wide open space.
What is the meaning of this? And what are these doors?
I like how you can actually see the different Arcana cards projected on the ground here. It's kind of unrelated, but still pretty cool.
2 doors and 4 locks? What could these be?
They weren't originally here?
No. It was a small room, easily filled by a desk and a chair.
Well, actually, it was a limousine, but anyway.
There wasn't space for doors such as these naturally. Could the room have changed because I brought you all here?
Actually, wait, that last line... hold up a second. That last line I feel like may have been poorly voice directed or misread. I think they didn't really read that comma there in the sentence, but anyway.
What do you mean? Stop saying weird things. Can we leave? I say we get out of here for now.
We may have been summoned.
By who?
Margaret seems to immediately figure out what's going on faster than Elizabeth did.
I'd like to investigate this for a while. If you find something, please call for me.
The downside, though, is that she is not nearly as funny as Elizabeth is, at least in my opinion.
We should head out too, Senpai.
Let's check out our senpai's place.
Come on over. We've got a fresh batch of takoyaki. We're having a concert in the music room. Come see us.
Was it this crowded before?
I love how Teddy's really excited about all this, but other than that, the scene's pretty much the same as the Persona 3 party version. But yeah, for these guys, this looks just like their school.
Huh. Are things picking up one last time before the post-festival event?
Oh, right. There was somewhere I wanted to go. Yosuke, please accompany this pitiful bear.
Once the post-festival event starts, all the displays will wrap up. So go check them out now if you want to see.
Fine. Where do you want to go?
The Cosplay Cafe.
Like hell.
It's okay. I just need your wallet to accompany me.
Okay.
Dude, if I'm the one paying, then I'll check out the cosplays too. Get back here!
The cosplay cafe's the one on the 3rd floor, right? Wasn't that where the boys are dressing up as girls?
Didn't we already do that in Persona 4?
Please, no more cross-dressing talk.
Yeah, Kanji probably doesn't remember that fondly.
Be more confident, Kanji-kun. You looked great. It was enough to keep me in a good mood for a while.
In other words, he looked hilarious. That's not helping.
You didn't win the pageant, but you really livened up the show. I'm sure everyone will never forget.
Again, very ambiguous wording there.
Wow. She poured salt right into those wounds.
Exactly.
Why don't we go too? I bet Teddy's getting them riled up anyway, so maybe we better check on them. Yeah, let's go.
Doesn't something seem off? The atmosphere here seems... In any case, let's go. We should try not to get separate...
Well, we already have been.
Huh? Look, outside the window.
It's...
There's a clock tower in the middle of the Yasogami schoolyard. What's going on here? Anyway, let's head to where the others went. We can investigate it later.
Yeah, these guys know there is not a clock tower there in their version of this school. The weird thing is, though, I find it hard to take this song seriously because it's used much later on the P3 storyline, but for comedic effect. And, yeah, we're already at the base menu. So things begin quite differently in this storyline. Oh, right. So they're going to the cosplay cafe, but they don't realize that it's actually turned into this now.
What gives? There's no cosplay cafe here.
Well, I mean, there is if it's all Alice in Wonderland cosplay, which Teddy happens to be incredibly good at. No, really, he's actually scarily good at it.
Huh? Was I only dreaming?
I remember it saying cosplay cafe in the pamphlet, though. Maybe there was a last-minute change.
Yeah, they completely changed the entire booth in the span of a few days. I don't think so.
Why don't we try going inside?
Huh? You're into this stuff?
Come on, she's a detective. I bet she'd masqueraded as others before cosplay was a thing.
Yeah, that I can... Wow, now I'm picturing Naoto going undercover in disguise.
That's... Well, I'll let it pass without...
Though granted, she'd been doing that already for a really long time.
More importantly, Senpai, may I ask you to open this door on my cue?
What's the cue? Okay, yeah, I'm tempted to pick this.
There's nothing to be scared of. It'll be all right, okay? Now then, are you ready? Here goes.
So, do we go on 3 or after 3? These kinds of things are always confusing. Right.
Whoa, why are you pulling out your weapon here?
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, okay, so we're going afterwards, and nope, I already screwed it up.
Is this display based on a children's story? It must have been a lot of work.
Rise-san, please search this area with your persona.
Whoa, wait a sec! We're at school! I can't summon it here! Why are you making me call out for no reason? This is so awkward.
Humor me.
Fine, if you insist. But don't blame me if this gets weird, okay? Persona!
Oh, don't worry, Yu's already called out his persona in awkward places before.
Are we inside the TV? But we never went into one, and I don't see any fog here. Hold on, I'm sensing shadows up ahead. 1, 2, tons of them! Some really strong ones, too!
Ah, come on. If there were shadows around, there's no way I wouldn't sniff them out.
Before Reset joined in Persona 4, Teddy was your navigator character, and he detected shadows by sniffing them.
See? There's tons of them? The shadows are actually here.
Whoa, there really are shadows here? Oh, what should we do?
Do what you normally do, Galactic Pump them!
Okay, can do. Calm down, GA. Deep breaths. Phew. Okay. Well, we can't leave them be. So I guess we'll have to poke our noses in there. Okay, I'll back you guys up from here then.
So, of course, on this route, we start out with Rise on support instead of Fuka.
Huh? Then I'm staying behind too.
Why exactly?
Are you volunteering for bodyguard duty? That's so sweet of you, Kanji.
Apparently there were people who actually shipped these two at one point, but I don't know if it's particularly popular now.
Shut up. I don't want to hear any complaints if a shadow attacks.
I'm just kidding. Well then, Senpai, I'll wait out here with Kanji.
Sorry, but I'm going to investigate elsewhere. There's something else that's caught my attention.
Fairly typical now, so going out to examine things on her own.
Huh? Oh, sure.
I'll go with Naoto then. You guys got nothing to worry about with my partner there.
Really? Yosuke is not in your initial party? That seems a bit strange.
I'll be fine. You be careful too.
Except, you know, Naoto is probably the one going to be protecting Yosuke, considering how good she is in this game.
Okay, let's meet back where we just came in from. Don't let your guard down.
Definitely not. And so, right now, we actually begin exploring the dungeon without Zen and Rei, so things begin very differently to the other routes. We still don't have access to the map, though. I'm not going to be showing a lot of the P4 route's gameplay, but I do want to at least show the tutorial fight, because there is one very considerable difference that will be, like, you won't be able to ignore it for the entire game if you're playing this route compared to the P3 one. So, firstly though, now that we actually, yeah, I thought so, BGM's gonna go down to 65%, and the voice volume's gonna go up to 100%. There we go. And while I'm here, I may as well turn on auto mapping. Also, I'm gonna set the battle speed to very fast, because, yeah, this is just gonna be a speedrun playthrough in order to show off the differences in this route. I'll have this going in the background, let's just say. And auto map is on. There we go. So at the moment we have Yu, Chie, Yukiko, and Teddy. Oh no, we have Teddy with 2 girls. This will not end well. But we have pretty much our standard weapons, including Yu's initial weapon, the golf club, which is actually pretty great. No accessories though, and if we check out our status, we start out with level 1 personas here. Wow, really? Chie gets nothing until power charge? That actually makes her kind of weak until sub-personas get unlocked. Unfortunately, we're forced to have Teddy in our initial party too, so this is really gonna end badly. That would've been great if Chie kicked doors open.
Oh, I know.
And we get some medicine to start with. Teddy, don't get any ideas. I would say she's out of your league, but I don't think that term even applies to her at all. She's, like, to even say that would be the biggest understatement of all understatements. And here's the difference. We actually have a different variant on the main battle theme for the Persona 4 routes.
Shadows, and I'm missing data. Let's show them what we've got, Yukiko.
We can do it together.
That enemy is weak against bash attacks.
So it's purely your mileage may vary depending on which version of the battle theme that you prefer. I personally lean slightly more towards the Persona 3 version of the song.
There are 2 enemies left.
My circus of miracles is just beginning.
But this one's good too, and I know a lot of people who like this version better. I think actually the way that I describe it is...
Rematch. Another one bites the dust.
I like the chorus better on the P3 version, but I like the verses better in the P4 version.
Hold on, Senpai. I sense something that's not a shadow. It looks like someone's here. Try searching around.
Ah, I'm guessing I know who this is our introduction to.
Huh? Wait, I think I heard something.
Yikes! What is this?
It's a ghost! No, it's not.
Where's it coming from? I think it's nearby.
You must find the mysterious crying ghost! Except now you know who it is, so yeah.
I think they're the ones I was picking up on earlier.
Who are you?
You better get used to that. Zen kinda loves that.
I'm asking who you are.
Huh? Well, I'm Chie Satonaka.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is I am no threat to Rei. That's the only way you'll get him to drop that.
You're students at Yasogami High, right? I mean, guessing by your uniforms.
Students at Yasogami High. Yes.
This cute girl goes here? Well, I want to go to school too. I'm gonna start going to Yasogami High.
Yeah, be quiet.
Are you two okay? There should have been shadows here. Oh, shadows are...
Do you mean those monsters? They did attack, but I drove them away.
You did?
But weren't you crying earlier? What's wrong?
I was scared. I was scared, but Zen kept saying that we need to go in.
Oh. Yes, it must be scary being in a place like this. Were you about to go further inside?
That was the intention.
But there's still a long, long way to go from here. My bear nose works a bit too, you know.
So it's gonna take a while, huh? Then shouldn't we go back? I want to check in with Yosuke and everyone.
Yeah, a while is a bit of an understatement.
Go back? I want to go too. I want to go back. Please, Zen? Can we go back?
Very well. We will come with you.
Huh? Oh, right! Of course!
I am Zen, and she is Rei. That's what we call each other.
Zen-kun and Rei-chan, right? Don't worry, we won't leave you here.
Thank you.
And so, yep, Zen and Rei have now joined the party. And I believe, let me just check, I think they start in the exact same state they do in the Persona 3 routes. But in this case, they join you in the middle of your first trip into the first dungeon. And yeah, we get more tutorials, but we've already seen those on the other route that I'm playing. And once again, we get one of these.
Your health isn't looking good, Chie-senpai.
Well, we're almost out of the dungeon, so I don't really care about that right now. I want to show a little bit more, just to show who mans the shop in this version. Actually, we haven't seen how Marie gets here.
Welcome back. Hello. Rei-chan and Zen-kun, right? Oh, wait, or is it Rei-san and Zen-san?
And again, politeness levels in terms whether they're older than you or not.
How old are you guys? I mean, like, what year are you in?
What year are you in?
Huh? I'm a first year.
A first year.
Oh, and we're the same age.
No, I think she's just repeating everything you're saying.
What were you two doing in there?
I thought we needed to get out of here. We were looking for a place to leave from.
Leave? If you want to leave, use the school gate. Do you, like, have no sense of direction?
There is no exit.
Huh?
There is no exit.
Thought so.
Wait, what?
There's a school gate, but we can't get out that way.
The secret passage that Kanji-kun usually uses didn't exist at all.
Oh, you know about Kanji's secret passage, huh? Shipping.
Hey, how do you know about the hole in the fence? I mean, I used it just this morning. There's no way it ain't there.
It's not there. We can't leave this school. And then there's that clock tower.
Clock tower? You mean the one in the 7 horrors?
It would be faster to show it to you. Please, follow me.
It's for real! There actually is a clock tower here!
It was demolished before Yukiko-senpai and the others began elementary school, correct?
I don't know exactly when, but I think it was around that time. But I thought it was more like a small monument than an actual full-size tower. At least, I don't think it was so big that a person could go inside.
Size aside, looks like we can't go inside this one either.
Huh? Even though it's this big?
Yes, there's no door. Alas, if only we could enter. I thought we'd find some sort of clue.
I see. Hey, Zen-kun, Rei-chan, do you know anything about this clock tower?
It's been here all this time.
Is the clock stopped?
It is moving, but it's extremely slow.
Slow?
Neither Rei nor I know anything about this building.
Except for the fact that it's been here the whole time, which instantly means this place is not the Yasogami High that these guys are familiar with.
But that bell did ring.
So the bell we heard must have been this clock tower's bell.
The bell rang, and I entered that labyrinth with Rei. That's where we met you.
You went in after hearing the bell? May I ask why?
I felt that that's what needed to be done.
I see.
Hey, why don't we go see Margaret? Maybe she's figured something out about this place.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea.
What a mess you've dragged me into.
Wait, we dragged you into this?
What is this place?
It seems this is a haven in the Rift. A place that exists between dream and reality. It connects to the world of the collective unconsciousness. It must be similar to the TV world you are all familiar with.
So that's why there are shadows here, and we could summon our personas.
But why are we in such a place?
I don't know the reason. But do you remember what I said before? Nothing meaningless happens here. Reality and this haven in the Rift connected via the Velvet Room. And you all descended here.
Though they didn't descend quite as violently as the Persona 3 cast did.
It happened by necessity. Indeed, one could call it fate.
Fate?
There is something that you must do here. That is all I know.
Yeah, I wonder what would happen.
Unless you accomplish what must be done, there will be no way back to reality.
And that's unfortunately true for Margaret as well. That's why she was saying they trapped her in this mess.
In other words, we won't be able to leave here?
For real?
Is that why the students are acting so weird? All they say is Yasogami High's culture festival is fun, and let's go to the carnival shooting gallery. It's like the answers they give me don't match my questions. We can buy what they're selling now.
And that explains why everyone's still able to get food in this place, which is vital to a few of the events.
Also, I don't see anyone else I know here. I mean, not that I know every single student's face, but there's no way I wouldn't recognize even one person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All they do is speak words. You cannot communicate with them.
The interesting thing is, these students in this place are very similar to the concept of cognitive existences that became a plot point in Persona 5, though this was made long before then.
Huh?
The students here aren't human. They're something like phantoms. Shadows will not attack them.
Yeah, essentially they are cognitive existences.
As far as I know, those monsters you call shadows have never come out from that labyrinth. I do not know why, but it's always been so.
Always? How long have you two been here?
A pretty long while?
What about before coming here?
We were here when we gained consciousness. We don't remember anything before that.
And yeah, more explanation that these two have no memories.
Our memories were taken.
Taken?
Wait, by who?
I don't know.
But you remember having them taken?
Actually, considering the delivery, I think those two lines were actually reused directly from the Persona 3 route.
But I remember having them taken.
That was not said there, though.
But how would someone take another person's memories? Could that someone be here?
Yes, I wonder. It's almost as if all our are gone.
I don't know.
Could our memories get taken too?
I don't know.
This seems pretty serious.
Yeah.
Wait, for real? Does this mean there's a bad guy here?
The penny drops!
In any case, let's look for a way to leave here. The clues must be in that labyrinth. It's obviously different from everywhere else here.
Leave? I want to leave too. I want to go back with everyone.
Rei?
Zen, let's leave together, okay? I want to go back too.
All right, if that is what you wish. I have a favor to request. If you are going to enter this labyrinth, I ask that you take us with you. We won't be any trouble. I will protect Rei, and I can fight the monsters in this labyrinth.
Well, just like the other route, we can always use the extra firepower. Okay, then.
Yes.
I hope we get along. Now that that's out of the way, I'm feeling hungry.
And the same old Rei.
Hot, hot. Oh, oh, oh. Takoyaki? Where'd you pull that out from?
I know something. Happiness comes in the shape of takoyaki.
Whoa. She's a Yosuke-level disappointment.
Did you just insult Rei?
Yeah, not a good idea.
I would never. I just meant that her distinctive looks and personality are amazing.
No, Zen, that's dangerous.
You two get along well.
I promised that we stay together.
I promised to get all cozy together in my costume, too. With Miss Margaret, of course.
Then I will fulfill my duty as well. As guests of the Velvet Room, I'll assist you as much as I am able.
Really? You have nothing to say to that?
If you are to fight against shadows, you will need to make the necessary preparations. Where to start?
She totally ignored me.
Okay, good. I can add to the Teddy Own count.
If we're to fight shadows, then I worry about our equipment.
Okay, so now this is a thing.
To proceed safely, we'll want armor to protect ourselves, and weapons to attack the shadows. Useful tools would be also helpful. And ideally, we'd have some place to replenish our stamina.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of having to go without supplies.
Would this be insufficient? It's a projectile device that uses nearby objects.
Yeah, we've already heard
Why
that.
don't you all use one too?
I wouldn't feel confident using that. I'd probably shoot Yosuke before I got used to it.
Of course it would be Yosuke.
I can so see that happening. Seriously though, we all use completely different weapons. Never mind unfamiliar, it'd be dangerous.
I see. Different weapons for each of you.
So, it would help if you had weapons? Then we definitely need some. There's a place with all kinds of stuff flying around. I think they have some. Let's go look together.
And once again, Rei happens to know a place in the school where you can get weapons.
And we can swing by the donut shop on our way.
That's not creepy at all. But this time we have no Theodore, so who's gonna run this place?
Handcrafted workshop. Was it always like this?
Zen, strawberries! They're like berries full of straw!
Okay, so this is the same, but I want to see who reacts to that this time.
Full of straw. I see.
Hey, I bet this is your kind of place, huh, Kanji?
Oh, there's no party member reaction to that like there was with Igus.
Well, kinda.
Yeah, I think we can use the weapons here. They all seem pretty sturdy and... Huh? What the... These are all toys!
Are they no good?
It may be possible to imbue them with enough power to fight shadows.
And as per Persona 5, all you need to do is just think, this thing can hurt shadows, this thing can hurt shadows, this thing can hurt shadows, and it'll work.
Who else but me?
So you're going to be running the shop this time. Also, actually, no, it's the other way around. The reason why the toy weapons work on shadows in P5 is because the shadows believe that the weapons will hurt them.
You should find them from time to time upon defeating shadows in the labyrinth. When you find these, please bring them to me. I will use those materials to make weapons, armor, and sundries.
Like Geek and Sundry, which I don't think you were working for at the time that you recorded this game.
Materials?
Allow me to give it a try. Please wait a moment. What do you think? I believe it came out quite well. As you have seen, I will create your equipment and sundries, but I expect to be compensated for my efforts. That is how contracts work after all. Nothing comes free.
What? How stingy!
Also, taking all your belongings into the labyrinth will surely be troublesome.
So, just like the other route, we have a storage system.
If there are things you do not expect to need inside, you can leave them with me.
You're gonna charge us for that too, aren't you?
Actually, no, that's free.
For this lady's sake, I'll look after your belongings free of charge.
Only because Recess said so, apparently.
You also desired some place to recover your stamina, yes? I happen to know a perfect facility for that nearby.
Phew! I'm relieved to see it's just a normal nurse's office.
You're not going to be relieved for much longer.
Are there any nurses here? Hello?
I feel like Yosuke's thinking the same thing.
Don't be sad, Yosuke.
Oh, Teddy's thinking the same thing I am.
Didn't say anything!
I will make arrangements for you to replenish your stamina here. Remember to come here whenever you return from the Labyrinth. As with your equipment, I will obviously require compensation for use of this facility.
I now know, yes, this is definitely an Etrian Odyssey carryover mechanic.
Though my prices will be reasonable, my intent is not to make you suffer.
Funny, Elizabeth never said anything like that.
However, what might constitute a fair price is beyond my ken.
Oh, right. You don't even know what a fair price is.
You'll be fine as long as it doesn't exceed 1 million yen. No?
I wish you had even the sense of your average housewife.
Oh, and yeah, I remember that line because a lot of people think that's kind of funny considering his voice actor and hers are now married.
Anyway, you can now make all the preparations you should need. If you have trouble, try adjusting your equipment and healing. That may give you the advantage you need. Deciding who will take part in the battles is also key. Don't neglect your formation.
This is kind of interesting because the Persona 4 party doesn't really have anyone like Mitsuru who directly handles tactics, so instead we're getting Margaret explaining that to us.
Well then, I bid you good luck.
Hey, Senpai, maybe you should look over the formation, like Margaret suggested. Now that the whole gang's together, you need to decide on who's actually gonna help out in fights.
You mean not Teddy? And you mean yes, Naoto?
Let me tell you what you need to watch out for when setting up your formation.
1. Don't use Teddy. 2. Use Naoto all the time.
There's a front row and a back row. People in back will be hurt less by enemy attack. But if you put someone who uses a close-range weapon back there, they won't be as effective.
Oh, good point. It'll be hard to kick stuff from back there. The Satonaka style works best from the front.
Yeah, Chie isn't Dulcim after all.
Naoto-kun, Zen-kun, and I will have no problems attacking from the back with our weapons, though.
The key appears to be setting up a formation that works with each of our weapons.
And also one that protects the squishier characters like Yukiko and occasionally, I almost said you, but then I realized, wait, that's also the protagonist's name, and, yep, I'm getting confused already.
Should we have an offensive mix, lean on defense, or field a balanced team? Well, we can adjust as needed.
Man, that's a lot to digest all at once. Oh, I'm fine leaving it all up to him.
You can change who's in the front and back rows during battle, too. Try mixing it up, depending on the situation.
Yeah, the Persona 3 party is definitely a lot more of an organized, well, organization than the P4 party is. It's interesting just seeing the differences between how they operate. And you'll be seeing that more as we go further into the Labyrinth and the cast get to intermingle a bit more. Okay, so I can at least show what Margaret's nurse's office looks like.
Welcome.
It's pretty much just the same old nurse's office.
Will that... I will see you again.
So Margaret's doing everything right now. I actually forget exactly how Marie enters this story. Maybe once we have access to the Velvet Room for fusions.
Welcome.
And here we do the exact same stuff as the regular handcrafted workshop, except this time Margaret's working on it. She doesn't seem to have voice clips for making items though, unlike Theodore, so obviously she's only temporary.
I will see you again.
However, even though Elizabeth was only temporarily running the Velvet Room on the other route, she had full voice clips for it, so I don't know. But anyway, with that, yeah, this video may have run on a bit long. I just wanted to show what the Persona 4 party intro is like. So I might need to do a second bonus video where I'm going to be showing the Persona 4 version of the Drink Me scene, as well as the cutscene that occurs before the boss fight at the end of the Labyrinth. And I think I might show how the P3 party introduces themselves too. From that point on, I won't be showing a lot of footage from the Persona 4 route. I'll only be showing, like, one exclusive. They have 1 or 2 exclusive events per dungeon, and I guess I'll be showing those, but that's going to be pretty much all. So for now, that'll be the end of this part, and I'll see you next time for another bonus video where I go over the major changes to You in Wonderland for the Persona 4 group